Can I climb every single day? And is it a good way to improve and get the most gains possible from climbing?
30 days of climbing. We did it. Hot dang. I didn't think we'd be able to make it, honestly.
I was quite surprised with the results.
When Sarah approached me and was like, "Hun, I got this fun challenge for us. Let's do 30 days of climbing." I was like, you and I have different versions of fun. But it turned out we did all 30 days, and I am actually super stoked that we not only made it through, but from the gains we got from it.
Day one is probably the easiest day of all of these because it's like you're climbing fresh. And it was a good basis for me to figure out where I was physically, where I was with my climbing skill.
It just felt like a normal climbing sesh, you know? I went into it knowing this was day one. We got 29 more days after this, so I was a little worried about the motivation. Overall, it was a good sesh. It was light. I was excited to see the gains. Things didn't start to get hard till day 4, day 5.
My right foot big toe hurts like a mother. I woke up at like 3 a.m. or like 5 a.m. and my skin was still hurting. I just wanted to sit on the couch today and not climb.
But we did go, and I guess you can call that the gain for the day, is that even though we didn't want to, we still went, and I'm really proud of us for it.
Something that was really cool on day 5 was I started to notice I felt like my endurance was building. Just from 5 days of straight climbing with no breaks, I started to notice that I could climb longer routes without taking breaks. I could take harder routes without being fatigued before I took the end of the route. So I actually did see gains from the very beginning of this. On day 5, I was noticing endurance. Now, as great as that is, I also started feeling a really strange pain in my heel. It wasn't my Achilles, it wasn't plantar fasciitis, so I'm not actually sure what it was. I have no memory of hitting it. There wasn't bruising. I had full motion. It just hurt so bad to touch, to the point where I couldn't put my shoes on the backs of my heels without severe pain. In fact, I couldn't even put my regular sandals or my tennis shoes on because the heel pain was too much. Typically, if I was not doing this challenge, that would just mean a 2-day rest for me. I wouldn't fight through that. I would just let my body heal. I ended up climbing 2 sessions without the heels in my shoe. Very difficult, if you're wondering.
Today was just, I think, for me, myself, like super needed, because every day it's been like, okay, today's hard day, today's light day, so to go into it with nothing planned was just awesome. Definitely found a new project, which is dope, and I'm super stoked on it, and it's really hard, a little scurry, a little scary. It's a good one, so yeah, great day. I definitely roughed up my knees. My knees are on fire. Tore a lot of skin off. That sucks. But other than that, it's pretty good. I'm just freaking hungry.
I did a ton of research into why people should not climb every single day. Some of the biggest reasons were because you're more prone to injury and you're more prone to chronic fatigueness. So I wanted to make sure that I could overcome that. Because of that, I did a lot of recovery-oriented things, and then also I planned out my days. I had hard days, and instead of when you typically do a rest day, I did light climbing days. On those hard days, I had about 3 climbing drills that I would do, cycle through the entire climbing session, and on rest days, which were not rest days, I would do lighter climbing. We're on day 13, and at this point, I'm feeling stronger than I have in months. And I'm feeling like my endurance has improved significantly. One negative thing though, my elbow still hurts like a mother. Probably shouldn't say that. My elbow still hurts, so that's not as fun. I haven't gone climbing yet, but I wanted to give an update. Yesterday, my elbow really started bothering me. I mean, it's been kind of bothering me for the last couple of days, but it's getting to the point where it's bothering me when I'm not climbing. I'm still going to continue with this challenge at this point, but I am a little nervous that maybe I'm going too hard. I'm gonna do some research today, see what I can do to fix that, and hopefully I can fix it without taking a break on it.
Day 15 was a mix of awesome and not so great at the same time. It was not so great because I started to develop elbow pain that was really like pretty bad. It was getting like, oof, that does not feel good, and you kind of use your elbows a lot when you're climbing. Who knew? The awesome thing is that I caught the climber's high, and it was in full swing. I was loving it. I just wanted to keep sending. My elbow was like, you better stop because this hurts, and I was like, shh. Don't talk to me.
Throughout this process, I was actually tracking my climbing. I was tracking how I felt before the session, after the session, what I was doing during the session. That way I could have a good idea of if I'm pushing myself too hard, or at least I could look back and go, hard day, hard day, hard day. Okay, this is 50% hard day, 50% easy day, like it's okay, we're good. I started noticing routes that I was flashing prior, same grade, felt like the same types of holds, same movements, started becoming a little bit more challenging. And those really long routes that I used to climb, well, I started to feel like I needed to take breaks while I was climbing. Just too tired. This is probably where I started feeling like there was that super high. I'm climbing the best I ever have. Day 20, I started to taper a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm still climbing really well. I'm still strong, but I am starting to notice I'm a little bit more tired after routes. I'm not able to last as long as I thought.
My elbow pain is coming out more and I am just exhausted. The other thing with day 20 that I noticed though is that I actually was getting a lot stronger. I decided to test to see if I could do a pull-up. Keep in mind, I haven't actually been able to do a pull-up since 7th grade when I was able to do 2 for the presidential fitness test. What up, America? You know what? Let me just test this out. And I could do a pull-up and was like, holy crap, look at these gains.
By day 25, this peak that I had where I was feeling better than ever at day 15, day 20 started going down. Day 25 was when I really started noticing that the routes that I was flashing are now really difficult to do. Now during this time, because I was so tired, I actually cut back on the intensity of my climbing sessions. Instead of doing drills every other climbing session, it was more like doing 1 drill every other climbing session. And then I really just worked on technique. So I did easier routes and focused on that technique because I didn't feel like I had the strength to keep climbing or to climb hard routes.
Something about day 25, day 26, and day 4, so 4 days in, 4 days left. I don't know what it is. You just don't want to go, but you're like, ugh, I can't quit now. Once we were there, however, it was a really awesome session because I actually sent my first V4 in 2 years. I was super stoked on that. Only my second V4, which is great because when this challenge started, I had sent just a small handful of V3s. I started flashing some V3s throughout this, and then hitting that V4 was just awesome because it was a really hard route. I actually haven't seen very many people complete it either. So I'm so happy we went. And then we hit day 30. We did it. What's up? I'm so stoked on that.
Now day 30, we actually participated in a bouldering competition and it was really fun.
I didn't do too bad in the competition overall.
It's one of those local competitions where they have beginner all the way to advanced climbers and they had specific routes depending on your grade. They were challenging, but they were especially challenging because at this point my body is just fatigued. I'm done.
I was happy to send at least 3 routes because they were really hard.
I did get a really fun climb that I'm pretty proud of, and I don't feel like I would have been able to do it before this challenge.
Overall, it was a really fun challenge. I'm glad we did it. Super proud of us for doing it. Don't want to do it again. For me, I feel like my technique got so much better. I actually did climbing drills because you have to change it up when you're climbing 30 days every single day in a row. So actually taking the time to do more climbing drills on my own and also focus on my recovery.
I climbed 30 days in a row. Something that was beyond my imagination when I first started climbing. I not only climbed 30 days in a row, I didn't have any finger injury, and of the elbow issues that I did have, I seem to have recovered from them with still being able to climb, and my skin was good. It didn't really have that many issues.
It actually helped me get the climber's high, and I do miss having it in my schedule every single day because I love the habit of work, maybe read a book, go climb with friends. Like I love that set knowing what I do every day. I really enjoy climbing and I still have the climber's high, and so I'd much rather be working on my projects than, I don't know, doing squats, you know, in my living room.
So will I continue climbing daily? No. And I'm not even going to recommend other people do it because your body does get tired. If you want to get better at climbing, then yes, climbing more often is going to help with that. But that doesn't mean you have to climb every day.
Based off the gains that I got, when you have 6 months experience climbing, I'd recommend 3 to 4 times a week. The reason 6 months is that way it gives you at least a basis, get your skin built up some to be able to do so much climbing, your shoes broken in, just get it in your schedule. Have it the same every single week, and then that way you can watch the gains.
If you want to climb more often, but you're afraid of injury, recovery is going to be the key to your success. And I actually did a video based on this experiment about methods that I used to recover that really worked well for me, and you can check those out here. If you want to get more out of each climbing session, then check out this video. I go over the best regimen for 60 minutes to get the most gains. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that it inspired you to climb more. Have fun climbing.